Sure, we've all seen the jokes and the tweets and the TikToks about young Muslims at the Yemeni coffee shops, mainly the men hogging up all the seats, free mixing, all of that. But y'all know I couldn't let this Ramadan pass without giving my thoughts. I'm so sorry to report that there's always been a history of men, Islam, coffee shops, late night worship, and public scrutiny. We should already know by now that coffee beans come from Ethiopia, but the actual coffee drink, like the brewing technique, was actually started in Yemen by Sufis. These Yemeni Sufi scholars saw coffee as a means of prolonging and extending their worship. Most of this worship, such as dhikr, were done in groups, and this was something that was heavily scrutinized and eventually politicized. And yes, they were mainly men in these Sufi circles, but not always, especially as Islam spread to West Africa. We see many examples of Black Muslim female scholarship across the continent. A lot of the complaints about coffee shops from the aunties and uncles, or even like the leaders of certain communities, came from two things. The belief that coffee fell under the category of khamr, or alcohol or drugs, as an intoxicant, was therefore haram, or that coffee shops in general needed to be outlawed because they were places where sedition and rebellion were most likely established. All across the world, whenever there were revolutions, these mom and pop shops have always served as some of the only places where the youth could gather and organize and plan. And so fast forward to now, yes, you and your friends may be going to the coffee shops to find your nasib. There is unfortunately still an air of criticism and speculation around coffee shops and Muslims gathering and socializing. And y'all already know how I feel about free mixing, right? It's really weird how young Muslims do not have third spaces, especially those who are in predominantly non-Muslim society. We cannot complain about people not getting married and people not following their deen, but then say that Muslims cannot interact with each other. Coffee shops and tea houses also serve as a way for young Muslims to stay connected to their roots. These establishments are native and indigenous to Muslim communities across the globe. But yeah, all in all, I just think it's really interesting that coffee shops have kind of gone back to their OG ways of being Muslim as hell, male dominated, and sources of a lot of critique and judgment. Comment down below your go-to order at the Yemeni coffee shop.